Alright, we're starting with page 2 now. We're looking for the measure of angle C. So the measure of angle C is right here. Well, first to start off, I know that angle CDK is 85 degrees. That means that angle BDC has to be 95 degrees because these two angles together form a line, which means their sum has to be 180 degrees. Now I have all three angles of triangle BDC. And I know that in a triangle, all the angles add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to take the first angle, 11x plus 2. I'm going to add the second angle, 95, and add the third angle, 17x minus 1, and set that sum equal to 180. I'm going to combine like terms. 2 plus 95 is 97, minus 1 is 96. 11x plus 17x is 28x, so plus 28x equals 180. I'm going to subtract 96 from both sides. On the left I'm going to get 28x, on the right I'm going to get 84. And if you divide both sides by 28, you're left with x equals 3. But we're not done with the problem because the problem asks us to find the measure of angle 3. We only found x, so I'm going to take 3 and substitute it in for x. 17 times 3 minus 1. 17 times 3 is 51. Minus 1 tells me that the measure of angle C is 50 degrees. That's my answer. Alright, skipping to number 10. B is the midpoint of AC. That means that AB and BC are the same. D is the midpoint of CE, so that means CD and DE are congruent. And I know that AE is 21. Well, the fact that B and D are midpoints, and it's a segment that connects two midpoints, that means that this is a midsegment. A midsegment is half of the side that it's parallel to. So if AE is the side that's parallel to BD, that means that BD has to be half of AE. So I'm going to take 21 divided by 2, and that's going to leave me with 10.5. So I figured out what BD is. Alright, question 8. I'm classifying each triangle by their sides and angles. So if I first look at the sides, all the sides are congruent. That is an equilateral triangle. And then to look at the angles, all the angles are equal. That is called an equal angular triangle. And we already learned that if you're looking at a polygon and the shape is equilateral and equiangular, that means that the polygon is a regular polygon. The second triangle, all the sides are different lengths, so no sides are congruent. That makes that a scalene triangle. And then I have two acute angles, 35 and 55, and I have a right angle. So since there's one 90-degree angle, this is a right scalene triangle. Alright, number 11. B, D, F are midpoints. So F is a midpoint that makes AF and FE equal. B is a midpoint that makes AB and BC equal. And D is a midpoint making DC congruent to DE. So since this is a segment connecting two midpoints, this is a midsegment. This is a segment connecting two midpoints, so FD is a midsegment, and BD is also a midsegment. That means that BD is half of AE, since those are parallel. FD is half of AC, and FB is half of EC. So they tell me that EC is 30. DF right here is 23. Alright, and I want to find AC. Well, since AC is double this midsegment, 23 times 2 tells me that the length of AC should be 46. So we didn't need to use the fact that we knew that EC was 30. Alright, number 9. I know that this segment's 40. That means this segment is also 40. That means that this had to have been a midpoint since these are equal. This segment here is 25, so is this one. That means this had to be a midpoint as well. This is a segment that connects two midpoints, therefore this is a mid-segment, which means this has to be half of this side that it's parallel to. So 32 times 2 tells me that x has to be 64. Alright, is this a mid-segment here? Well, this segment's 47, that segment's 47, so this is a midpoint. Those are equal. This segment is 56, this segment's 56, so this is a midpoint as well, so this is a mid-segment, which means that it's two of these are equal to the side that it's parallel to, or half of this will equal this side. So I'm actually going to take half of 4x plus 44. If I divide each by 2, I'm going to get 2x plus 22. And I'm going to set that equal to the mid-segment 4x plus 2. Subtract 2x on both sides. 2x plus 2 equals 22. Subtract 2. 2x equals 20. So x equals 10. Again, it didn't ask me to find x, it says find the length of the midsegment. Since this is my midsegment, I'm going to plug in 10 for x. Leaves me with 40 plus 2, and my answer is 42.